Alright, I know it's been a little bit. I do apologize. I went through a bunch of my videos over the course of the last couple of days and deleted a whole bunch of stuff. I realized that when I started playing around with my settings, trying to squeeze every drop out of my PC, it actually fucked up a lot of stuff. So, my audio was off, wasn't synced, and found some other underlying issues. So I have adjusted things, and I have went back through and deleted a whole bunch of videos that were just no good. So even though the video content was good, I don't know about you guys, but if the audio doesn't match the video, I feel like I'm watching an old Japanese flick where their mouths are moving but nothing's happening. So I tried to do my best to keep you guys from having to deal with that in the future when I play reruns. With that being said, I ended up deleting roughly 35 videos, but I have added some other ones to the random games playlist. So hopefully we can still have some rerun streams. I don't think I'm going to be trying to squeeze any more out of anything. My PC's old and that's just how it is. So we're not going to be messing with any more of those settings because I personally don't want to have to go through the painstaking process of going through every video and editing and making sure the audio matches the video. So this is going to be a short stream today. It's just going to be a recorded sesh. I don't have a lot of time. We just had major storms go through the area last night and this morning, and there was a lot of damages. So I have been on cleanup duty today. I had to go patch a little spot or two in the roof. I had to clean up major water down here where my office is. And so, yeah, we're going to take just a little time, put in a little bit of game time, a little bit of record time. And the next round of storms should be coming through soon, plus the wife will be home probably within the next hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half, something like that. So we're just going to put a little recorded sesh together, give you guys a little update on what's going down, why I haven't been around. I didn't really get to do much this weekend as far as gaming and streaming. I had a lot of stuff to take care of in my personal life. So once again, we are back at it. I have not been changing any of my settings. I have brought everything way back down to where it was originally. I do realize that this simulator for some reason seems very surgy and weird on the video aspect of it. I don't really know why. Even when I cranked the settings way up, it still didn't affect the fact that it seems real pixelated, glitchy, weird. However, I am playing this game, so this is something I'm going to be recording and streaming. We have made very big progress on the map. We have finally figured out that the reason they were trying to get us to do potatoes in the beginning was because it is one of the better crops on the Montana map. So, to save you guys the pain, anguish, and heartache, I played a little bit off stream so that way I could get things lined back out and get through the chaos. Now, we do have a big tractor. We do have most of all the stuff that we need, and everything is lined out. Now, the only mission that we have right now is to pay off the rest of our debt. That is going to be what we're working on next. I have purchased another solar panel field, and I have purchased every one of the wind farms, whatever you want to call them. So we're getting daily money that is pretty decent, and as you can see, we're up to 52,000. Main goal by the end of this is to basically pay off the loan. So I splurged a little bit of money. I bought multiple farm plots. I own that one, I own that one, and that one, and that one now. And then we own our original two that are on opposite ends of our house. So we technically own 6 fields now. I don't know why my camera has my face red, probably because of my red shirt, but oh well. Alright, now we will park this here. Also, I have gotten rid of one of the chicken coops, and I have upgraded the other chicken coop to a level 2. So we now have 2 level 2 chicken coops and one that isn't purchased. Rabbits are not worth my time. I've tried them multiple times. They are not worth it. You have to be there at the exact moment to sell them and buy new ones, and then it takes time for them to come up, and then it's only a couple $1,000. Not even worth it. The next thing to go, if I can't see a big jump in the payments, is going to be the greenhouse. The greenhouse is okay, but it produces very slowly. I have to keep water and fertilizer in there. And then usually 2 loads, like 2 different harvests, will only bring me about $5,000. So $5,000, not really worth my time when I'm harvesting fields that are giving me 10 to 13,000 per harvest. So they are good for a little bit of early game supplemental cash, but as far as like late stage game, greenhouses are just more time consuming than anything. You gotta fill them up with water, you gotta fill them up with fertilizer. Then you gotta hope you see the prompt on the screen that says to go collect them, because otherwise you'll lose part of your harvest. Not okay with that either. I'm probably going to be recording a lot more sesh, because for some reason when I went back and I was reviewing all the footage and all the videos and just checking things out, my recorded sessions are 10 times better than my live stream sessions. My dog decided to come down. So that's pretty much the overall understanding of that. So don't be surprised if you start seeing a lot more reruns. It's hard for me to be live right now and work out a schedule because work is so difficult. I never know if I'm going to have to stay late or go in early. So I do apologize to you guys. It's not that I don't want to put out content for you guys. It's simply because, you know, I don't have regular viewers and I don't really make money doing this. So this is just something I can only do in my free time, you know, and right now free time has not been that abundant. So I may start putting together some hour or 2 hour recorded sessions just so that way I'm not going live for like an hour and stopping. Also, like I said, if you guys really enjoy some of the stuff you guys see or some of the content I put out or the games that I play, make sure to go check out YouTube. YouTube is where you will find most everything that I play, and I play a lot of different stuff. Lately it's been simulators, simply because they've just been more fun to me lately. They're easier to kind of sit down and chill to. But I like all kinds of games. Shooters, MMOs, RPGs, all kinds of shit. Alright, that one's plowed, cultivated, and sowed. That one's waiting for the next day for some greenery to show so I can do the fertilizer and stuff like that on it. Same here. Yeah, and then I'm pretty sure we got the same thing going on right here. Yep. And then the same thing going on right here. Yeah. Alright, so we're waiting for this one to harvest, which is tomorrow when the next day comes. Then when we harvest this one, we're going to get this field ready. Then we're going to plant these 2. Other than that, we're going to have to kind of separate these other ones because we have 4 fields that are going to want me to be present for them all at the same time, and that's probably going to be a bit difficult, but we are going to see. Now, I do know that we did have some fields planted a little screwy, so I thought that soil fertility class meant that they were specifically bonded to a class, right? Like class 1 is grain and class 2 is root crops, you know, potatoes, whatever, right? That is not the case. So if you look down through here, we have a class 1 that is grain. We have a class 1 that is grain. We have a class 2 that is suggesting that it be grain. So that throws a wrench in the understanding right there. Then we have a class 2 that wants roots. And we have a class 1 that wants roots. So I don't really know that there's anything to the class 1 or class 2 except for what the soil fertility is. I don't know if it's because it's wanting me to rotate the crops to rejuvenate the soil. I'm not 100% sure how this game particularly works. Now I know that most of your farming games, they want you to rotate crops. Like you can do potatoes for 2 seasons, but then you got to do grain for 2 seasons, or 2, you know, plants and harvests. So I'm assuming that's what's going on here. Is it's kind of the same little deal. Is class 1 and class 2 just basically mean your soil fertility in general? So we may just be rotating based on whatever the recommendations or the suggested crop is for the time. I thought I had an understanding where it was going to be, you know, oh, hey, class 2s are going to be root crops and class 1s are going to be grain. But the more I'm understanding about it, the more it seems to be like the other farming games that I've played and I still play, to where I'm going to need to rotate crops. So I'm just going to go off what the suggested is for now, and we're going to see if that makes a difference. I know that we have been basically learning the whole thing. We're starting to get a real good handle on it now. I was kind of confused, and I was wanting to go with the same kind of run that I do on most of my other farming games, which is basically just plant canola and fucking run that shit, because that shit's worth like up to $2,500 a ton, or whatever, however, a bushel, whatever they go by. On here, I think it's tons, right? Pounds. Okay. So, you know, like wheat, I got 4,032 pounds. Potatoes, I have 4,820 pounds. Selling them from here, I take a 20% hit, so I haven't been doing that. I've been trying to keep all my money. This here, 1,102 pounds, 1,102 pounds, 1,103 pounds. I have no idea where those pounds are. I absolutely could not tell you. Now, I do know that, you know, at $1,700, it's not too awful bad for peppers. But greenhouses are a little bit tricky. I won't even say tricky. I will say I get complacent. And then I'm like, okay, well, how are my crops spoiling? And then I look back through the log and it tells me that 10 hours prior I was warned that I needed to harvest my stuff. Well, you know, I'm not the greatest at that. So if the crops are ready and I can harvest the crops, fantastic. But if the crops are ready and I'm harvesting crops and then magically the greenhouse decides that it's ready, then I forget about it because I'm balls deep in 5 fields that I'm trying to harvest. So, you know, I mean, just kind of is what it is. We're going to go throw some fertilizer in here. I don't think 5 bags is going to touch anything because that's a fraction of what it takes, but I can't remember what fertilizer it needed. Of course, the bulldog has accompanied us, and he's down here snoring. I gave it some water. I will give it just a wee bit of... Hey, look, it looks like I did it just about perfect. Yeah, 85, 75, 40%. All right, we're going to call that good. The other thing is the eggs, right? Eggs are good for quick supplemental cash, like in the beginning of the game. But I have noticed that recently eggs have not really been worth it. So, what may be happening is we may be selling the eggs because it's based on a daily output, right? Eggs only give you so much of a daily output even when it's upgraded to level 2. However, I will say that if I stockpile enough, it usually takes about 3 or 4 days in game for me to actually get enough eggs or peppers to really make a profit off of, which isn't bad. But during the meantime, you still have to be making sure that it's full of chickens for one, or full of fertilizer and water for the other. You kind of got to pick your battles, right? I don't think that the battles that I'm facing right now with choosing which I want to do is worth it. Not when I could save the money from the greenhouses and from the chickens, and I could buy yet another farm plot, and then we would be fucking good to go. So we're going to give it a few more days here. We're going to assess the situation, and then we may be getting rid of the greenhouses and the chickens. Because I have found that with potatoes in general, mostly I can get $13,000 per load of potatoes. Not a bad little haul, if I do say so myself. And wheat, I have been getting a nice little haul off the wheat. Better than the rye, because the rye takes an extra day to mature and become ready to harvest. So with it becoming, much more difficult and longer, you don't really, even though the money per pound is much better, you don't seem to get as much. And obviously you can't harvest as often. So by monetary time breakdown, right, I think wheat's better. It's because you can literally harvest it like every 2 days and rye's like every 3 days. So we have it set up now to where we have I think 2 wheat fields. Sowing, so this is potatoes, I think. Maybe. No, that's wheat. That's wheat. This is potatoes. Yep. Yeah. Potatoes, wheat. Potatoes, wheat. Wheat. Potatoes is what's going to be here. Because I think it said 37 was root plants. Yes, 37 is root plants. So we will have 4 fields to harvest, to fertilize, spray, irrigate, and then we'll have 1 field to harvest and then get it ready to plant. But I got to figure out how to stair step all these, and then eventually we're going to sell off a couple of our smaller plots that are here by the house, and we're going to buy some bigger plots. Because if you look at it, one more time here, just one more time. Does this tell me how many acres? No. Okay, so that won't tell me how many acres. But I think this is like 3 acres. Let's see here. 5 acres for field 1. Field 1 is where? 3, 4, 39, 1. Okay, so this is 5 acres. So what is 3 and 4? 3 is 2 acres, right? So you figure if 3 and 4 are both 2 acres apiece, that's 4 acres. Now if I sold, say 4 and 3, and I bought this one, which is 4 acres, that's 1 field that takes up the space of both of those fields. So not a huge jump, but enough that it would be noticed. What I really would like to do eventually is trade everything for this one, which is 36 acres. This one field alone would probably produce enough money to negate every single field that I have. However, the overall understanding of what's happening here, yeah, 3 acres, 2 acres, 2 acres. So, yeah, if I could save 155,000, I would probably buy this, sell off everything else around me. And 36 acres would pretty much take up everything. Because let's see, we got 2, that's 4. That's 8. 11. 14. 19. So that's 19 acres in every one of my fields. And this one is 36 acres. So that would basically allow me to have some freedoms. Now, do I think I'm going to be able to do that field in one day? I don't know that my tractors and everything else that I have currently will do this plot in one day. So that might be a problem. We would probably need closer to 300,000 so we could buy a giant tractor, giant plow, giant harvester. Otherwise, I feel like this freaking field will probably take an entire day with what I have. Unless I had 2 tractors, 2 plows, 2 cultivators, 2 planters, you know, like it would have to be a tag team thing. So for now, we're running with what we got. What we got's not too bad. It gets a little chaotic, but nothing too awful crazy. But we are on track. We are definitely on track. I got 52,000 right now. I do think I want to go in here and pay up some of my bank stuff. I think if I'm not mistaken, this loan here is the one that really matters. This is the one they're trying to get me to pay off like right now. We're going to pay off some of the stuff that we got. I'm really not messed up about it. I think I'm going to go ahead and pay off this loan. That leaves us with 14,000, right? So come next harvest, we should be able to pay off. Loans via tablet are more expensive than those taken out in the bank by 2%. 2%'s not shit. I don't care. I'm not driving for 2%. So the next loan we'll try to pay off will be this one. And then the only loan that we will have is our main loan. And the main loan, I think, is the one that it's telling us to pay off the rest of the loan. However, I don't want to pay off the rest of my main loan and then get into a situation where I need to borrow money for the next mission if there is one. I was going to pay that off last night, but I figured I'd wait for you guys so I could at least put that out there and show you guys what the plan was moving forward. There's really nothing else going on the game for this 24-hour period. And I think the only way that peppers would truly be profitable is if I bought yet another greenhouse and stocked it with fertilizer, water, and then upgraded it. So I would need about 20,000. Well, no, because that one's 15. So yeah, I would need about 25,000 because I think the initial is 20 or 15, and then the upgrade's 10. So I'd need 25,000 just to upgrade that, and then I'm gonna need probably another 800 in fertilizer or 400 in fertilizer, and then the water to take it over there. So that would be something we could look into. Now, I know eggs are usually decent when it comes to profitability. The problem is I don't recall seeing them on here. Okay. So see, I mean, even at max, oh, that says 420. Woo. I think maybe that's a sign. But at 420, right, and that's literally by the pound. It's not much. It's not much. Or is it by, what's the, so there's the money scale. What's the 36, 37, 38, 39, 40? Is that how many pounds? Weird. I guess I'm not understanding what that bottom number is. However, you see eggs, right? They're 416. They're really not worth it. I mean, the amount of time that you have to wait to get a full warehouse of eggs really puts them out of the realm of, okay, this is okay. Now, if I was in one of the other maps, I could do eggplant. Oh, shit. Fucking batteries. I think I'm going to switch back to my my Elite controller here. Seems to last a lot longer. Give me just 1 second here. I'm going to pull out the old Elite controller. This is my scuff controller. The Elite 2. I hardly ever use it. Turn it on, see what we got. Alright, we're just going to go with default settings. Anyway, as you can see, wheat, right? So it says I have 4,032 at 845. I'm assuming per 1,000 pounds, but I can't be 100% sure because I know I don't make a shit ton off of wheat, but I make decent amounts. Rye is close to the same, but you get more wheat and harvest it faster than you do rye. Barley, meh. Potatoes, they're actually very low right now, but I think that's because of where the stock market is at the current time, because I've sold them when they were like 11. Coffee's decent. Canola, olives. See, like canola is usually what I go with on every single farming game because it's consistent. You know, you can usually get consistently good money for it, and the harvest is usually ridiculous if you put all the time and effort in to get the fertilizer, irrigation right. Milk, again, it's giving me a 20% knockoff because it's not being sold at the store. See, peppers are good, right? Like 20 to 100. But the problem with that is that getting enough peppers to make it worth it. Holy crap. My skin looks red like I have a severe sunburn. We are going to take that off and put this on because I have no idea why my camera magically thinks that, you know, I am fresh out of a broiler somewhere. So as of right now, the way things are sitting, there's no way you can rush the peppers. There's no way that you can do anything that's going to really be beneficial as far as the pepper production, except for getting more and more greenhouses, which then will require more and more time to pick them up and harvest them and take care of them. And I'm not sure what the benefit of that is going to be. Let me put these on the charger real quick so I can charge these two batteries. And then, let me put this controller up real quick here. All right, now we have our good controller that we can try to play with here and see what's up. I need to open these fuckers back up. No, that's all the way, not that. I have my trigger locks on and that feels funny, so we're going to use full motion of the triggers. Okay, we're going to use half motion of the triggers so that way I don't wear the triggers out. I do know that this controller was having a little bit of an issue. That's why I ended up putting it back in its case and leaving it there. I was having an issue where the left bumper was not working properly. However, I hope we don't run back into that. I know that we can sell some of this manure because we're not really going to use it on our fields. The manure spreading is very slow and methodical. However, I'm pretty sure it's damn good for your crops. What do you guys think? I think liquid fertilizer is better and faster. I just know there's not a lot of money in this. This is just a byproduct of having cows. And if you ask me, the cows really aren't that profitable either. The amount of time you have to wait for the milk production and just everything as a whole, not really that beneficial. Which I have found becomes the case with most of these farming games. There are very few of these games that I've ever played that livestock is very beneficial. You never get very much for your manure, but your manure is very beneficial for your fields. I did get a 200% bonus on my fertilization one time. Let me find out. Let me keep this actually, because if I can get a 200% fertilization bonus from manure, then doing this would stop me from fertilizing. Yeah, we'll save this because I think this whole truckload right here is only going to give me about $3 grand. I'm not really hurting for cash right now. We paid off a loan completely. We did buy another solar panel field, one of the smaller ones. So I'm kind of curious. I think we'll stay right here and we'll just we'll use this on the next run and see what the benefits of using manure are versus the liquid fertilizer. I think that'll be a good plan. See, as you can see, it's been 2 days on here, and I only get about 4% milk every day, which doesn't really equate to a decent amount of money. I mean, obviously, the more cows you have, the more likely you are to succeed in that aspect. But the amount of time, effort, everything else it takes, plus, buying all the fodder if you're not making fodder. And if you're making fodder, then you have to have a grass field to be able to have your grass bales and your silage, and it just becomes a whole balancing act. I'm gonna get my smoking stuff. I'm gonna smoke some. Once again, I do apologize for the reruns. The last few times I played them, I got to looking at that shit and realized that I had you guys watching some videos that were great video quality, but the audio was trash. Like when I was playing the zombie game, I noticed that it started off really good with the audio, and then about halfway through the video, it trailed completely off, and it was about 15 seconds, and that is ridiculous. My audio somehow jumped up 15 seconds faster than the video. So I was over here swinging the axe and breaking some stuff, and then I ran off, and then you heard me breaking stuff with the axe like 15 seconds later, and I want to apologize to you guys completely. I never realized that that was the case. And upon reading it, it says that obviously your audio is processed way faster than your video, so most likely what happened is when I was making the adjustments for the, squeezing every drop of graphics out of my PC, I basically made it into a situation where in order for it to process the high-level graphics, it was processing them much slower than it was the audio, and then, yeah, catastrophic failure. So, lesson learned, we won't be doing that anymore. Now we're just trying to get things lined back out and get some more video content out there. I promise you guys I will never, ever play with the video settings again. I have them where I want them. I have found that most of the recorded content is really good, but the live streaming content that I was putting in, about halfway through the video, the audio would start trailing really bad. Or the video, should I say, was trailing really bad because the audio was actually in sync where it was supposed to be, but the video and the audio did not match. If I had you guys and you guys had my back, you guys would have told me about that. But you know, it's part of learning, I guess. It's part of the small time game. I know I could do the pigsty for more liquid fertilizer, but like again, guys, I'm not huge on livestock. I got a green thumb. I like farming. I like that aspect of it. But the whole animal aspect of it is a little bit troublesome for me. And I think what makes it troublesome is the amount of effort it takes to keep them happy while also providing enough kickback. Because, like, I don't know if you can see. And so I have 8%. 8% is only going to give me like maybe 1,000 gallons. And if you look, oh, right, like, what's the, oh yeah, so I'm 40% chickens and 60% cows, right? I haven't lost any harvest, but the general profitability has only been 67%, though the harvest efficiency is 100%. So I don't really know how that works exactly, you know? Yeah, milk ready for collection, but it ain't gonna be worth shite. But if you look here at the stock market, right, and you go to milk, it says I have 1,699 pounds at 650 a pound. Now 650 a pound here is not really what it's gonna be. That's 20% drop, I think, when you sell it from there. And it would be great if it was like set it and forget it, but you see the prepared fodder. Like this is the problem for me. Like, okay, fodder is $10, right? But you buy fodder, and when you buy fodder, it takes a lot. Let's go 400. You see that? Hey, give me like 6% or some shit of fodder at $400. So it's a little crazy. We've been crunching some numbers and doing some things, and it's not really panning out, if you know what I mean. Hold on, the wifey's messaging me. All right. I think the wifey's gonna want to order pizza when she gets here. Put this little tractor back where it goes. I have been trying to take most of the weight off my little tractor because now that my equipment is so big, in order to keep up with the fields, it struggles a lot. But if you look at how much it sells for, considering I've had that thing since I started this game. All right. Okay. Come on now. Yeah. $8,970. Well, that's not really going to be worth it considering one just like it's going to cost me, let's see, 8,970, 35.88. Right? You see, the math is just not mathing. I'd be better off just keeping that little fucker until it's worth absolutely dick anymore. Let me get this other fucking directional pad out of here because I don't like this one that I'm using. Get out of there. Put Put that one back in there. Put that one there. I had the omnidirectional pad in there, and it's weird. You can't really feel your directions. You just have to hope you're not hitting a diagonal direction. And oh, come on, controller. I will eventually get you set exactly how I want you. Alright, we'll go half throttle, half brake. Yep. Now we're just waiting on 2200 hours, because at 2200 hours we can go to sleep, wake up the next day, and start this saga all over again. But we're going to see at 8% what the production is tomorrow. If I'm literally putting that much money in and getting 4% per day, it's going to take me upwards of 2 months to fill up my milk, and that's going to take me roughly about $5,000 worth of fodder. So we're just going to have to do the math on it and see if it's actually worth it. Now, it does provide me free fertilizer, so that is one aspect I have to look at as well. Other than that, these little fellows, they don't really do a damn thing for me. So this may be the last time that we even mess with chickens. I think chickens might just be going bye-bye completely. I think I've pulled things off the chicken coops the last 4 days, the last 3 days, and I have 13%. So 220 pounds. I would almost have to have a lot of chicken coops, and then chickens would have to be my thing. But they're not. Farming is my thing, and I think that's where the most demanding money is. Like these guys, nah. In the beginning, if you just wanted to shuffle a couple of dollars around, sure. But I'm trying to make big money. I'm trying to make $10,000 a load. And in order to do that, you got to do potatoes and wheat, and you got to have multiple fields. So I'm pretty sure this, depending on what the numbers say, when I wake up tomorrow on the game, we are at 0 eggs. We are at 0 eggs, right? So we're going to see what the percentage jumps up in one day. Because if it's going to take me a month and I have to turn around and sell chickens like 3 times and wait for them to build back up, chickens aren't worth it. They are not worth it. So we got a few things we're going to try to work on. We're going to see about what the manure is versus the liquid fertilizer, which is over there. We will kind of see what the benefits are of each and if it's worth it. I swear one of them put my fertilization up to 200% though. So when I was looking at it through the drone, it said, oh, well, you want to, yeah, so at one point my fertilization was up to 200%. And I think that's when I used manure last time. Because the first time around it was like 100%, and then the next time I planted I didn't even have to fertilize because it was 200% or something like that. I don't remember specifics. We got 1 more hour in game. Damn. My wife is blowing my damn phone up. What she want? The hell do you want, woman? Okay, hold on. All right, sorry about that. I actually had 4 different people messaging me at once. It's kind of crazy. So yeah, we're gonna keep an eye on things this time. Okay, so we got 8% milk and 0% in the chicken coops. We're gonna see what they produce per day, and tomorrow when we wake up on the game, we're gonna decide if those are even worth our time, and if they're not, they are gonna go bye bye. I don't really care about the little bit of supplemental cash that it gives here and there, whether it's 2,000 or 5,000. I'm at a point in the game now where 2,000 to 5,000 doesn't even affect my overall income. Won't even fill up my gas trailer that I have. So, in fact, that's another thing I need to check too, real quick. I need to check and see how much gas my fuel trailer has in it, so that way I know when I'm gonna have to fill back up the fuel trailer. Ooh, only 408 gallons. The last time I went to fill this bad boy up, it took a lot of gas. Let's go see. We got 14,000. I'm willing to put 4,500 in it. I have used it quite a bit, so I can definitely say it comes in handy, but how handy? Alright, people. Alright, now I have forgotten where the damn gas station is. Is it up here? It's south. What the hell? Oh shit. I passed the shit out of the gas station. Alright. Oh damn, little fire hydrant. A little hop there. Damn, that shit takes a lot. It's a big old gas tank. Alright, well, that's going to be it. We ain't doing no more with the fuel. But we know we got 708 gallons that we can play around with. That'll give us plenty for a little while. We are just waiting the 12 minutes in game for me to be able to sleep until the next day, and then we are good to go. $11 more minutes. I'd really like to save up the 246,000 or whatever it is that's going to take for me to buy this. Yeah, this. I mean, obviously, I would love to have this one. This is the best one. And if I'm going to save the money up, I'm probably going to buy the best one. This one holds 24,251 pounds. This one holds 38,581 pounds. I mean, there's $100,000 difference almost, though. Sheesh. Fuel consumption 61, fuel consumption 45. I would assume this one does at least a couple of rows, so that might not be too bad. The one I'm using now does 3 rows, so I would assume this one does probably 6 rows. So even going up to this one would be way more beneficial than the one that I have, and that is this one. 11,023 pounds. Literally does 3 rows. Doesn't take any fuel though. But that literally takes, you see them 3 tines down there? Them 3 little arrows? That's all it does, is 3 rows at a time. It's a very long process. Well, 22:01. Let's go to sleep and wake up on a fresh day. See what we got here. Yep, greenhouse is ready to be collected. Made 7,000 off our green energy, so that's not too bad. Let's just see. What did it give us as a percentage? 12% per day. I mean, 12% per day is not terrible. So it gave us 5% on milk. And maybe I'm not understanding. Maybe I'm doing this wrong. Maybe having old cows is better than having cows. I don't really know. I'm not sure if their definition of maturity means that I need old cows, or if it means that I need cows, just like here. I don't know if having old chickens are better than having chickens. So this one's 12 with 5 chickens and mostly old chickens. This one's also 12 with 10 chickens and 5 old chickens. So all right, first things first, let's go over here and let's get the peppers. Then we have a long day ahead of us. Or should I say an expensive day ahead of us, because it's not going to be long. We're going to be hiring people to do most of this shit for us. Which is also a problem because I could probably make way more money and have way more money if I just did all the shit myself. But that would then require my effort instead of my money's effort. Right. 2,535 pounds. Yeah, that's like $2,000. So I would assume the money you see is per 1,000 pounds. I'm gonna drop all that in there. It gives us 1%. The other thing I find hard to deal with is the distance that these greenhouses are spread apart. If I could find a place that had greenhouses that were relatively close to each other, which there are 2 that are over on the other side of my property, which might not be too bad as far as keeping up with them. I don't know. We're going to keep the peppers and we're going to keep the chickens for the moment, but I don't really know what the ratio of chickens to old chickens to chicks to calves. I don't know what all of it really is 100% yet. Right now it says I got 45 cows and says that I made decent milk overnight. It says I made, what, 5% overnight? And we got that. Okay, so we are going to start by... Since these 2 fields are opposite, we got potatoes there and wheat back behind us. We are going to take the manure spreader. We're going to spread some manure on both of these fields and just see. Then we're going to use liquid fertilizer on the other ones, just to get a complete understanding of what is a better fertilizer. $600 for that. Alright, now let's go to our big tractor. Nope. Let's go to the harvester. We need to harvest this stuff. We will harvest for a little bit ourselves. Save us a little bit of money. And 4 passes are going to fill it completely up. That's always beautiful. The only plus to the situation is there's no real time frame once I harvest, unless it's planted. So the fields can stay unplanted for however long. I've just got to make sure I get all of this fertilizer and stuff spread on the other fields. May set up the big tractor and get some liquid fertilizer going on the other fields. So we will do manure on 2 of them, and we will do liquid on 2 of them, and we will see what the numbers difference are. I mean, obviously we won't know about yields because they're 2 different size fields, so yields aren't even going to matter. It's going to be, is one of them going to give us a bonus to where it's going to be like, hey, you know, we're gonna give you 200%. Yeah, my left bumper is still a little weird on this controller. It's like it's almost like it multiple fires, like I hit it and it's like brrr, and it's not set up that way. There is a malfunction. Ultimate goal is to finish these quests in the campaign mode. Most of my farming games that I've ever played don't really have like a campaign mode, so that's kind of what's had me drawn to this one, is the campaign. Most of them it's just like, hey, free farming or multiplayer farming where you can have your friends join and you guys can run a massive farm together, or you know, they can run the farm beside you and you guys can do like a co-op farming thing. That's kind of cool. I've done that once before, and then all of a sudden dude just stopped logging in. And then I could either watch all of his stuff die or I had to take care of it myself, and I didn't feel like doing that, so I played for about another 2 weeks and I quit myself, which is also another game we're going to go back and explore here soon. I have an achievement that I've been waiting a year to get, because you have to log into your map a year after your first start date. So we are, you know, in the process of funking with that. It's kind of a weird achievement to have, in my opinion, is like, hey, log back into your farm a year later, literally 365 days later. And I guess that shows dedication to your craft or whatever, but oh, what the hell? Hit the wrong damn button. I will say though, if manure is actually going to give us a 200% bonus, even though liquid fertilizer is worth less money, it would almost be more beneficial to use the manure itself for the 200% bonus than it would be to even worry about the liquid fertilizer. But I could have them both and just use one if the other one's out or whatever the situation. That would save me money on fertilizer, but it's also costing me money to keep the cows alive and to swap them out. So we'll just have to run some numbers and see what happens. Paying for fertilizer is really not that stupid expensive, so it just depends on what the cost of fertilizer is versus what its cost is to keep the cows alive. Alright, who's messaging me now? Can't y'all see I'm busy? Shit. Alright, I'm getting multiple messages now. Fan-fucking-tastic. Fuck. Come on, man. What kind of pizza do I want from Casey's? Well, how many different pizzas are you getting? Question mark. And what do you prefer? I'm not gonna get a special pizza just for myself. So then why don't you just get us a Hawaiian Lovers that is pretty much Canadian bacon and pineapple, and that be the specialty, and then you can just get him a pepperoni. Okay, well, can't really empty the rest of this yet, but I think the wifey's gonna be on her way here soon. So like I said, I didn't have a long time to put any time in. That's why we decided to record this session. Anybody else get concerned or confused as to why, if you have your notifications and your preview set up for your messages, even if you're on the app and looking at the messages, it still gives you the preview? And on top of that, why the fuck doesn't the preview go away when you exit out of the messages? Maybe that's just my phone. Maybe something's just broken on mine. But I can literally sit here and watch the message come through. And then I back out, and it doesn't go away. Yep, still there. Yeah, so everything I was reading today and watching today says that south of I-70 is going to get hit pretty hard today and possible tornadoes. Oh, dang, like everybody wants to chit chat all at once now. Like I ain't heard nothing from these people in like fucking 8 days, and now magically everybody wants to be. Oh, we're gonna be social bunny rabbits today. Go over here, unload the rest of this. 3 out of the 4 fields are taken care of for fertilizer. Well, will be as soon as that one's done, and this other manure one. What the fucking shit? Okay, do we have a fucking problem here? You fucking jackass. Alright, this shit has been taken care of. We can go park this thing somewhere. We are just gonna park this right out here. It doesn't need to live a shed life. It is just farm equipment. Ah, fudge muffins. Get out of the fucking way, dickbag. Yeah. I'm pretty sure people that are programming these fucking apps are retarded. How can the message come in and I'm sitting there looking at the message come in, read the message, reply to the message, and back out, but it's still a notification across the top of my screen saying what I just read and replied to? Fuck you, Facebook Messenger, you junk piece of shit. %7 wheat off that one field. That's not terrible. Gonna have to make some bales, but oh shit. God damn it. Santa Maria. Went to the wrong fucking one. Oh, well, I guess this will save me a couple bucks anyway. What did I miss? It says I missed something. It's at 97%. Where? Aha. Still only gave me 99. I don't really know why. Okay, well, fuck it. Let's cruise this whole back strip, see if we can get this 100. Not real sure as to why it's not registering this last strip over here, but let me get that 100%. Really? Weird, I say. Oh well. 99 it gets to remain. I'm thoroughly not seeing anywhere else that's missed for the 1%, so... Oh, I do see it, I think. Huh. Sheesh. Alright, well we saved about $3.50 there. Let's go ahead and spray down this side. Can't even see where the hell I sprayed last time. That's weird. Normally you can see a spray line. I don't see nothing. Alright, we're gonna have them do this. Oh, fudge. God dang it, dude. I'm fucking gonna lose my ever-loving mind here in a minute. It's got the doo-doo spread all over it. Oh yeah, magically it has nothing in it, but it says it's got 35,274 pounds in it. And it's completely clean. That's even weirder. Alright, whatever. Okay, man, hold on, guys. Holy shit, man. I don't fucking get it, dude. Like, nobody fucking chit chats, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, everybody's like, oh, let's call, let's fucking text, let's send messenger messages, let's fucking. Get the fuck off my phone, for fuck's sake. I'm fucking busy here, alright? Had a brain fart on what I was trying to accomplish here. fucking never have anybody blowing my phone up like I have the last hour and a half. Literally since right before I started fucking streaming. Now everybody. Everybody. Oh, for fuck's sake, dude. Well, I know without workers, I would never be able to accomplish all of these fields myself. Plus, I think I would probably hurl myself into a wood chipper. In game, of course. In game. If I had to do every single aspect of this game myself, I think I would probably literally, lovingly dive into a wood chipper on the game. Plus, there are certain aspects of this game that I don't really like the spraying portion of it. If you ask me, the spraying portion of it, the sprayers aren't nearly as big enough. Like, the irrigation and liquid manure spreaders, they're fucking ratchet on here. Like, it literally sprays a section that's like, I would say maybe 4 rows. And some of these fields are absolutely gigantic. So I try to save myself a little bit of money for the farm. Try to do as much of the farming as I can while staying away from the shit that I don't want to do. And don't get me wrong, if the liquid fertilizer sprayer actually covered a much larger area and, you know, didn't require 1,000 passes per field, sure, I'd probably be more apt to do that. And I think they do offer one fertilizer sprayer that is that way, so I may check that out. Also, this baler. Yeah, no, if this baler had much more capacity, and I don't have to bale it, I could just fold it under into the dirt. Well, you know, I can make $100 a bale. And then it's like, why would you not if you can make $100 a bale? You know, 23 bales is $2,300. If I'm keeping the chickens and I'm keeping the peppers, I might as well keep selling the hay. better not forget that last strip you missed over here too. I can see it on my map, you dickhead. I think the manure spreading should be just about done in the other field, if it's not already done and I just haven't seen it. I see no point in being wasteful though, and I feel like it's kind of wasteful if you don't at least collect the hay off your field. There's $600 in bales. Just the long process of picking up the old hay. Yes, I could be much faster at this process, but it's not that crazy. I'm still waiting on that one to finish that field. Still waiting on, I think the manure's done probably. Kind of curious to see, I swear one of them said 200%. Pretty sure it was the manure. We're gonna eventually get that little patch there in the center. Eventually. Are you fucking serious? Wow, bruh. I do know that this baler has paid for itself. That's what, 6, 9, 10. So that's $1,000 right there, just off the bales, not including the wheat. This baler has seen some bales, though, let me tell you. I'm gonna finish this. Make sure all the fields are taken care of. I guess we will plant these. Number 3's done fertilizing. That's right by the house. So I guess manure just got done over there. If I do buy one of the bigger fields, I will probably leave the smaller fields closer to the house and won't sell them, simply because I could do them in grass, and then that would allow me plenty of ways to make silage and all of that for the cows. Good. Emptied that bad boy. Didn't need it anyway. Okay, let's go put this up. Come back, get the hay wagon. So there's the 3 stacks of hay. Oh shit, 3 stacks of hay bales that I have. Mind you, I sold 4 stacks already right before I, or right after I planted the wheat, because I knew I wouldn't need it. Definitely have a lot of hay. Yep, and he spread all the doo-doo. Really not sure how it's magically clean and there's nothing in it, but it says it's still full. It's a little odd, to say the least. We will do the 2 in manure though, and then we will do these other 2, like I said, in the liquid fertilizer, and then we're gonna see what fertilizer properties are better. I think one of them is better than the other one for sure. I think it's the manure itself, because it's a solid and it takes time to break down. But I am not 100% sure on that. I just know that last time when I activated the drone and I looked at the fields after fertilizing, 100, 100, 100. Okay, all right. Maybe it was just with grass. 100, 100, 100, 100. Cool. Coolio. And guys, finishing up that one, we're gonna collect the rest of these bales and stack them. That way later on we can sell them if we want to. However, as you guys can see, we're making decent progress on paying off these loans. Once we get all this stuff cleaned up, cleared up, get the fields plowed, and get everything ready to go again, then we can go sell the wheat and, continue this old farming saga. I am going to have to run here in just a few because I'm pretty sure the wife is on her way home. We're going to stack all of this and just see what happens. Just going to have a shit ton of stacks. Then eventually we'll get to a point where this ain't even going to be worth it. Because then we will have to start doing grass to be able to make stuff for our cows. That's really what all this is for anyway. It's more for, you know, having enough resources for your cows versus anything. We're going to do, I think, one more stack. There's not enough out here to stack, so I'm probably just going to park this and sell the rest of them. Never even had a chance to smoke because been, you know, keeping the entertainment level up. Alright, there's that, there's that. Well, we just got to prepare this field now, so we're going to get the other tractor out. And we're going to come over here, we're going to plow this field, then we're going to cultivate the field, I think. Yeah. I guess we could cultivate and plant at the same time, especially if we're putting wheat back there, so. Let's get the plow ready. Oh shit, where did I put the plow? Plow's laying here somewhere. There it is. I tried to get the 12-row plow, and I don't have a big enough tractor yet, so I think we're going to be stuck waiting on that one. Alright, buddy, go ahead and do your business. Go jump in this tractor, make sure everything got done here. Yep, he went and covered it all. Only thing left for these fields are spraying, so. Oh shit. Oh shit, I forgot there's a bucket there, I can't do that. Oh. Alright, we're just gonna park this over here, fuck it. Time to get out the sprayer. And we gotta, oh, I forgot, we probably gotta irrigate most of this shit, but What the hell? See, spraying is not bad because spraying I'm gonna do something weird this time. We're gonna see if it works. That shit worked. I know exactly where I missed. I think anyway. Very corner. Yeah. Alright folks, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for me. I don't have much more time. The wifey's about to be here, and yeah. I'll probably be back later. I'll probably actually do some live streaming later and see what happens, but for now, that's it. Much love. Be safe. I will see you guys on the next one.